up, buddy? How you doing?
Hey man, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good, doing good. So we just watched the Mario trailer of the movie that's coming out in April. What'd you think, man?
I think it looks really good. There is. You said you didn't know this. We watched it before we started recording, but there is like a controversy around. Well, not controversy. The internet is generally displeased by Chris Pratt being Mario because his Mario voice doesn't sound very good.
Yeah.
Everyone else seems like they're doing a great job, and not that Chris Pratt. It just seems a little basic, is all.
Okay, look. So I get that it seems basic. Like it doesn't seem like authentic Mario. He's an Italian plumber, has an Italian like voice like in the games and stuff like that. I just don't know how that would work though, like him talking all the time. Because like in games he has like one-liners like here we go and like stuff like that.
So here's the thing. I think that they could have. I understand why they went with not the original voice actor for Mario, because I think the idea was that it would be a little grating on audiences for long periods of time. Because, like you said, he generally sticks to "Let's go," like that kind of thing.
Right.
I would have been fine with it as someone who grew up on Mario. I mean, I
Sure.
remember the first time Mario got a voice in Mario 64, I believe.
Yeah.
Where he just, it was there, and that was the voice. That was always Mario's voice.
Sure.
And he's always been not only Mario's voice, Mario, Luigi, Waluigi, Wario, and I think a couple others. So he's always been the Mario voice.
Sure.
Voices. And Chris Pratt has some. I know you don't keep a track with like nerdy stuff as much online as I do. You got your
Right.
nerd stuff, but like I keep my ear to the ground. There's a lot of the internet is displeased with Chris Pratt as a person for reasons that we won't go into here.
Sure.
But so there's a general like, okay, he doesn't seem like he's trying that hard, and it doesn't seem like it was a great casting choice. It seems like it was casting for box office, not for character.
Sure. Sure.
But I think everyone else is great. I don't want to delve too much into the negative because I do think that the Mario movie looks really good.
It looks amazing. Like the animation style is amazing. I love that bubbly look. Like it takes the game, but makes it that like just that next level crispness to it.
It does what Sonic did well after they
Yes.
revamped it.
Right,
It was
yeah.
like, oh, cool. This looks like it was plucked right out of the game and put on their screens.
Like because they even say it in the trailer how like different galaxies. So it's like he's just plucked out of his own galaxy.
Yeah.
And like boom, he's live action. We saw Donkey Kong's having a little adaptation like Donkey Kong World, so it's all the same world.
We had the original like the Donkey Kong back when it was Jumpman.
Jumpman,
the
yep.
Girders or Garters or whatever they are.
Yeah.
I like that Donkey Kong just slapped the shit out of him.
I love how Mario is like, all right, I'm gonna give it my best bet. I don't know what to get. I don't know if you heard him. He's like, let's go, and then he's like, he like tries, and then Mario Donkey Kong just like grabs him, puts him on the ground, and starts beating the crap out of him.
Yeah.
And like everyone in the background's like, oh crap, like.
Maybe this guy isn't the hero of our kingdom.
Yeah, I mean, literally, he is a plumber. Like, he literally is a plumber by trade.
Yeah. I think the rest of the voice cast looks amazing. I think Charlie Day as Luigi fits perfectly. I think that Jack Black is doing the vocal performance of his career, and he has a very good career.
Jack Black is. I love Jack Black in animation. Like he does so well. He's such a great actor. I just love him as an actor. He makes movies so enjoyable. You know.
Yeah.
So
old school escapism.
Yeah, like just having him as Bowser and like he has a deep gravelly voice and like but he has a humorous part to him.
Yeah,
but you don't really get to see much. You don't really get to see much of Bowser like that. You don't. Bowser's really serious. I'm about to take over. But like seeing a different
a voice.
Right.
He chats. It's always like either what am I thinking of? Like the
bubbles.
Text bar.
Yeah.
Either a text bar or it's just
Right. So, but
so
seeing him have that
give voice to it.
Yeah, and having the knowing how Jack Black is ad-libbing and everything, how humorous he can be is going to be fun. I'm really excited for this movie, especially with the adaptation we got back in the day in the 90s, where it
That's
wasn't it's not even considered.
It's like the Dragon
Mario
Ball movie, the live action Dragon
Yeah.
Ball movie, or any
Exactly.
anime movie for that point. Like it's just like they were like, what if we take the names of these characters
Uh-huh.
and
Yeah.
do something entirely different?
And like put them in a sewer. Like it's in a sewer, right? It's not
Like,
bright
what if
and
Mario
bubbly.
met the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Like yeah, so like it's like they didn't even look like turtles. They look like lizard men. Like it looked like a lizard dude
Well,
in the
because
background.
turtles aren't that threatening unless you're the
It-
Teenage
well,
Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Honestly, you could look at it as like a bootleg Killer Croc from Batman.
yeah. No, but this one looks so. One of the things, or a bunch of the things, I think that they're getting right is that this is clearly a love letter to people who grew up on Mario, which I think
Yeah.
gets lost a lot when they try to do these kind of movies, where they're like, well, what if we put a Hollywood spin on it? What if we do this? And it's like, I don't need that. I
Yeah.
grew up on Mario, so we've seen the Donkey Kong level with the metal and everything like that. We
Mhm.
saw it looks like a training course or something where it's like
Yeah, he's
the
training it
old
up.
school Mario levels around the
Yeah.
castle. So it like
What's cool
clicks
about that
there.
too is like, what's great about that too. Sorry to cut you off. Is like,
No, you could.
is that like he's a plumber. He's a plumber, and he's not used to any of these things in
Right.
this world. So them putting that attention to detail of him training is so brilliant. It's so
Yeah.
smart.
He needs a training montage.
Yeah, he needs
and then
every
we saw-
superhero needs a training montage.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
We saw at the end, we saw the Mario Kart and it's Mario Kart on Rainbow Road.
On
which
Rainbow
I think
Road, man.
Which is really cool. There's definitely a lot of like, hey, we understand that we are representing a franchise from that dates back 40 or 50 years at this point.
Yeah.
So like, we're gonna throw it all in there, which is great. I think it's great. Here's a question for you. This is some speculation, Mill.
Okay.
Or some maybe it's not even speculation. Maybe it's optimistic thinking. Do you think that they will, with this success, if this is successful, which I think it will be, if this is successful, we have the success of the Sonic franchise. Do you think we could eventually end up with a Super Smash Bros. Like Avengers style movie?
Ooh, see, that's key though. But it's interesting though if they can. I guess it would work though because I could see it happening with them, especially saying in the movie, in the trailer, saying there are multiple galaxies out there. So,
Which is what Sonic was.
Yeah.
Have you seen the Sonic movies?
yeah, yep. The ring, how the
Where he
rings
takes
were
the
like
ring and
portals.
he hops
Yeah,
universes and everything. I haven't seen 2 yet, but I've seen the first one, and it seems like they.
I
just
like
expanded
2
on it.
much better than 1.
Yeah, that's interesting. I've heard some people say that it's really good. I've heard some people say it wasn't as good as the first. I'll have to watch it myself, but I do love Knuckles. He is one of my favorite characters. I want
I think
Shadow,
Knuckles.
in.
Oh,
in
he's. I
Sonic.
think they might come up with a third one.
Hashtag justice for Shadow.
Yeah, yeah. Which they had a little reference of Shadow in the end of 2.
Nice.
So, what you were saying is like I think if they do like the Smash, but like they could definitely do it, like pull Link from Zelda and
Yeah.
everything, Kirby, like just having that reference of like there's multiple galaxies, it opens it up.
Yeah, I think, especially with the Mario franchise, it brings in a good bulk of the original OG Smash team. So you can get Peach, Mario, Luigi, Bowser, Sonic. Like I said, even though he's not in Smash, you could put Knuckles. I mean, you can kind of like,
Yeah.
oh, this guy isn't in Super Smash Bros. But you
Right.
can put him in there. You could get Samus in there. You could do like a Kirby movie and get Kirby
Sure.
in there.
Yeah. Like do a Marvel universe,
Yeah.
but with the Nintendo characters,
with the Nintendo characters.
and I
Yeah,
think that's
why
a genius
wouldn't you?
idea.
It's
Hey
brilliant.
Nintendo, do that.
Feel free
That
to
would
hit
be
us
the
up.
greatest thing ever.
I'm sure
Yeah.
we're not the first to say this. Here's my thing. This is my hot take. I'm all for a Super Smash universe. I think that they should totally do it. I think that the next movie they should do to capitalize on the Super Mario Brothers movie is they need to give Charlie Day's Luigi his own Luigi's Mansion movie.
I was just about to say Luigi's Mansion, dude. Luigi's Mansion would be the funniest shit I've ever seen in my life.
Absolutely, and it would. Who wouldn't want to see it? The you could do like, because everyone knows like Luigi plays second fiddle. You could do like the Mario movie, and then just put a line through it and write Luigi on top of it, and like
Yeah,
green
Luigi
pen.
could come out like running. He's like skeet, Luigi's
have
Mansion.
Charlie Day be like, "No, come on, Luigi, come on."
Yeah, I mean, you could even do it like where since Luigi gets captured in the games, like it has the Mario movie, and then like Mario's being carried off by Boo or something like that, and he's like gripping at the movie and like tears away, and then Luigi comes in with his vacuum. He's like,
Mario cameo at the
I'm
end.
coming, brother.
I'm
Yeah,
coming. Let's go.
yeah. I hate that Luigi always gets bitched in all the games and everything.
Yeah.
Like Luigi's just as good as Mario.
Luigi is the Hufflepuff of the Mario universe.
Yeah,
I say
yeah.
that with all the love in the world. Before I get any hate on that, I love Hufflepuffs. My wife's a Hufflepuff. And I love Luigi more than any other character. I play him in Mario Kart, Mario Party. Luigi is my boy. He is my favorite. So no hate on Luigi, but he is the Hufflepuff of the Mario universe.
Yeah, he gets so much hate, but I love Luigi.
He's like the
He's just as
normal
good as
guy.
Mario. Yeah, yeah, he's
Like
just
Mario's
as good as.
out there like, I'm a hero, let's go. And, you know, you got Bowser, you've got Peach, who's like this epic princess, and Luigi's like, I'm just here, man. My brother
Yeah.
did this, and I
got
had to
dragged
help
with
him."
you. Yeah, I got dragged with you, dude. Like, why are we doing all this crazy crap right now?
Like, I don't want to
Yeah.
be here.
Yeah, yeah. I think the movie is going to be overall great, and if they're able to capitalize on this, I would hands down. I'm going to go see the, we're going to go see the Mario movie, but I would hands down go see a Luigi's Mansion movie probably over this Mario movie.
I would, well, and that's not true. I was going to say I would rather see a Luigi's Mansion movie than this Mario movie, but that's not necessarily true. I love Mario with all my heart. So
Right.
I grew up on
I
it.
love
It was
Mario
the first
too,
video
yeah.
game I ever played. My
Sure.
sister taught me how to play when I was like 4. We played Super Mario
It's-
Bros. 3.
That's funny. My sister would play before me, and then like she couldn't beat levels, so I'd like, give me the controller, I'll do it. And she's like, how'd you do that? I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, all like the old school secrets where you're like, yeah, if you fly up here and go into this corner where it's off screen and you can't see anything, then you get a special flute that takes you to the end, and you're like, what?
Yeah. That's crazy. I'm trying to think of what else they might have in there that might. I like the Toad humor though, like how Toad is. He's very I mean, I guess in the games it's really it's not foreseen, but he's very brave in this. Like he's like, go ahead, like he doesn't care what Bowser looks like. He's very like, oh, let's go, man, let's go, let's get at it.
You know what's funny is I feel like Toad has grown more of a personality in the last, I would say, 10 years tops. Where like before he used to just be like, Toad.
Yeah.
He was, always
Right.
the instructional guide or whatever. And then they started giving him some like personality. And now we've got Keegan-Michael Key coming in here, voicing him, and he does such a good job of keeping to the Toad voice while also like making him fun, which I'm really excited about, to give Toad even more personality.
Like you knew more about like who's voicing. Like I just knew Chris Pratt was voicing Mario, but I didn't know like who else was voicing who, other than Jack Black and Bowser. But I didn't know Keegan-Michael Key was voicing Toad, and he doesn't even sound like himself at all.
No.
Like I was just shocked. I was like, what? Like
He's out here just killing the game. Making everybody look good, especially because with the controversy of Chris Pratt as Mario, or the internet reaction to Mario, his voice. I think it was smart to show the clips of them together so that he almost overpowered the scene, but in a good way. It was like, let's draw eyes towards the good one.
Yeah. I'm really excited. It comes out in April, so we got some time still, but time is flying. It's almost Christmas time. It's crazy.
It is almost Christmas.
But I'm really excited. I'm really excited for it. I'm going to go in with
high
high hopes. High hopes.
For everyone who's hung up on the Chris Pratt thing, the only piece of advice I can give you is just ignore it. Because everything else about this movie is going to be incredible. Even if you hate his performance in this, everything else is going to be a grand slam from what I can tell. I'm calling my shot now that it's going to be a phenomenal movie. So just go, and, if you just have to swap in, it's Chris Pratt and Luigi. And it's cool. If he's not your Mario, then he's not your Mario. But everything else about it looks amazing. So just sit back and relax.
Just sit back and just relax and enjoy the Mushroom Kingdom that we all want to see. So I think it's really great. I mean, as we were talking about universes, nerdy thing that I love sometimes more than Mario, is Lord of the Rings. So
Mm-hmm.
I know you're a Harry Potter guy. I love Harry Potter, but I think you're more the Harry Potter person than me, and I'm the Lord of the Rings person over
Yeah,
you.
that's true. We have
You
a
know,
good spread over our like nerdy friends. I'm the Harry Potter guy. You're the Lord of the Rings guy. My friend Adam is the Star Wars guy. Like we have all of
Right.
our franchise covered
right.
by one
So,
good
like,
expert in every field.
Yeah. So, like, if you were, like, how we were talking about, like, them bringing multiple universes together, if you could live in a universe, which one, like, would you live in the Harry Potter universe, or would you want to try something else?
Oh man, that's tough. If I could live in any universe, which universe would I live in? Is this the question?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Yeah, my knee jerk my knee jerk reaction is to say Harry Potter.
Sure.
Though I do think so. I am a huge Harry Potter fan. For those who don't know me, which is probably most of you.
Show your arm.
Huge,
Show your arm.
huge Harry Potter fan. I have a whole sleeve. I have Diagon Alley on the inside of my arm.
That's dedication, folks. That is dedication.
Yeah, which was great when You Know Who came out and was very anti-trans people, and I was like, no, I've got it tattooed on my arm. But yeah, so if I could live in any universe, my knee jerk is Harry Potter, though I don't feel like the structure of the wizarding world is built very well outside of Hogwarts. I think that there's a lot of work that could be done there, but yeah, I think I would pick Harry Potter. Like,
You would? Okay, even though
like,
any day, but like any day you could get swooped up into a wizarding world and like getting fucking, was it the death killing curse shot at your ass?
I mean, I live near Baltimore. I live with that risk every time I go into the city. Just
I guess, yeah.
one of the squeegee boys will come up to my window and decide that I didn't give him enough money. So yeah, I don't know, man. I think that with the so here's the thing. Okay, I'm gonna dust off some of my nerdy shit. Doing the killing curse is very difficult. It is made to look easy in the movies, but it is actually quite a difficult piece of magic. It requires a lot of, as Bellatrix states, you have to mean it. You have to really want to kill somebody. Not like this person should be dead. Not like, oh, I want to rob this guy and so I'm going to kill him to take his money. You have to.
I mean, they were flinging that.
Hate that.
They were
that
flinging
person.
that curse. They were flinging
Well,
that curse like crazy in the movies, dude. Like they didn't even think it, and they were shooting green sparks out of their wand.
The wizard Nazis were throwing it around no problem. Yeah, they
guess.
they do genuinely have a lot of hate in their hearts. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Um,
Didn't the what's her name, the mother of the Weasleys, what's her name?
That's a good question. Molly Weasley.
Molly. Didn't Molly try to shoot that crap at Bellatrix?
It's never confirmed. I don't think she actually uses the killing curse. I think she uses something else.
Okay.
But she killed her.
Yeah.
She also tried to kill her daughter, so she had the motivation, if she did shoot the killing curse, to be like, the infamous "not my daughter, you bitch, not my daughter,
So,
you bitch."
So this might be controversial to you, but I might actually pick the Harry Potter universe as well.
Really? Okay, so also, for those who are watching this, I'm drinking out of my Universal Studios Ravenclaw cup. So, and that was not planned. I just drink out of it a lot.
Hey, yeah. Yeah, I might actually pick Harry Potter as well.
Interesting. In Overlord of the Rings.
Yeah. Okay. Reason being, medieval era sounds fun to be in, but when you can't find food and you're like cold as crap all the time, it kind of gets old pretty fast.
Yeah. It's true, and so here's the thing: Lord of the Rings is high fantasy, and Harry Potter is low fantasy. So high fantasy, for those who aren't nerds with definitions, high fantasy is when the story takes place in a non-Earth community, not past, not future, not anything like that. So Harry Potter is considered low fantasy because it takes place in a fantastic fantasy place that exists on Earth. Whereas Lord of the Rings exists on its own planet, on its own universe, so it's considered high fantasy.
Right.
So yeah, the thing that's nice about Harry Potter is it is low fantasy, which means that like you get all the magical, mystical. You get a castle, you get a magic wand, you get all
Right.
kinds of new stuff, flue powder, so you can travel, a magic broom and a magic wand and all that shit. But then, if you just want to pop out and watch an MCU film,
Yeah.
you're like, oh yay, my magical wand, Avada Kedavra. You want to go watch Iron Man? Like, that all exists, so you get the best
So like,
of both.
I mean, if I'm like, Helm's Deep, like I'm watching on the big screen, watching Helm's Deep happen. That's cool and all, but if I'm in Helm's Deep, it's raining and I got an Orcai barreling down on me, I'm like shitting my pants. I'm like,
Okay.
I don't want to do this no more.
So for those of us who are nerdy enough to dream the dream and really put yourself in there, you also, I think, when you cross a certain threshold in your mind, you're like, okay, let's be real.
Yeah,
This
I'm
is
not
a
Aragorn.
fantastic-
I'm not a Legolas
Yes,
or a Gimli.
yes.
Like I'm the dude in the back getting cut the fuck up. Okay.
I would love to be some epic warrior out there shooting arrows, swinging an axe or a sword. Same
Yeah.
with Harry Potter. I think that's one of the reasons Harry Potter wins me over is like, look, I would love to be an epic hero, but also would I? Because they go through some shit, man.
Yeah.
I think I'm just cool being like Bob in accounting with a magic wand.
Yeah, you're like it's lunchtime. I'm gonna lickety split a little spell on my little keyboard here. Keep typing away. I'm
Right.
gonna go get a burger. Okay.
Okay, I need to just do some stuff. Whoosh! All right,
Yeah.
great. Magic achieved. I'm gonna go get some pizza.
Yeah, like if I'm in Lord of the Rings, I'm wearing like my armor and like, all right, we defeated Sauron, but we gotta go kill all the rest of the orcs and we gotta go do some other stuff. I'm like, dude, I'm tired. I don't feel like doing this.
They walked. For those who don't know, and I started off this podcast by saying that we're not like those nerdy guys. We're like, we're mildly nerdy here. But I do
We're
happen to
nerdy
know-
nerdy to like the things we love most.
I mean, so for those who don't know, the walk from, I'm probably gonna screw this up too, and then nerds on the internet are gonna be like, he doesn't even know what he's talking about.
Okay, look, let's say
believe
this. Let's
that
say
the
this
walk-
sparingly. That we
Right.
we are nerds, but we're not like, we don't deep dive on too much. Like I'm a broad nerd. Like I love video games, movies, and everything like the next person. I mean, we could always research it.
Okay, so I googled it because I don't want to get
That's
yelled
good.
at by the internet.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
I believe, before I go into what Google says, I believe that the walk from the Shire to Mount Doom was the same distance as from like New York City, I think it's New York, to Ohio.
Yeah. I
Hang on.
think
So here's what Google says, because God knows it's right. It is 1,779 miles from the Shire to Mordor.
Mordor.
If you walk 3 miles every other day, it will take you 20 weeks or 4.5 months to complete the challenge. I wish I could see it on a map. Anyway, doesn't matter. But
Yeah. It's far as shit. It's far as shit.
It's far as
Barefoot.
shit, man.
Barefoot. Like I don't care. Like I get it. The hobbits have tough feet because they don't wear shoes. But you're like Gimli's talking about going through Fangor and it's like razor sharp rocks. I'm like,
Yeah.
the hobbits are fucking barefoot.
Right. Unless your foot is made out of rubber, and even
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
it's getting cut up. Yeah. Whereas, like in Harry Potter, it's like, oh, we're poor and we can only afford this magical house that we can expand on the inside.
Dishes clean
You can-
itself and
like-
all this other shit.
That's why. Okay, so let's get into a little bit. We're spiraling off topic, but I'm cool with it. Let's talk about how the poorness in Harry Potter is represented badly. Because, like,
Yeah.
yes, they don't have a ton of money, but they're like, oh, we don't have a ton of money for stuff. And for those who don't know, in Harry Potter, there are several rules to, like, you know, nerf the wizarding system. One of which is it's Gamp's law of something. But basically, one of the rules is that you can't, like, make food appear. You can't just, like, poof food into existence. However,
That sounds
and
dumb.
This is where it gets me at the end of the in the 7th book / movie where they're like walking around place to place, like trying to find food, trying to survive, and everything like that, and they will occasionally like steal food from a grocery store, but they'll like leave money, but they do it very rarely. They're basically living on scraps the whole time, and I'm like, you're a wizard. Freaking steal from people, man.
Like, don't they have a spell to create water?
They do have a spell to create water. I don't know if there's any limitations to it, because that's definitely something that was like glossed over, which is it's like, you can't make it appear. So I don't know if it would like disappear after a little while, or if it wouldn't actually like satiate your body. But like, in theory, Aguamente, the water spell, should be able to just, hey,
what if it was like Aguamente? All right, cool. I have water and salt water. You're like, God damn it!
Because wouldn't that be interesting if like, because it's never mentioned like where it comes from. It's magic.
Yeah.
Magic.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be awesome though if it was like Aguamente and it's just slowly draining the ocean every time they do the spell?
Yeah, it's crazy. Also, you're talking about like it's kind of nerfed where like the poor in the movie, or like I guess the series, is weird, because like when they were going to the Wizarding Quidditch Cup, and their tent is like a smallest little tent ever, and they go inside and it's huge.
And it Doctor
so
Who's
it's like
it's
it's
the
like,
TARDIS.
what?
You walk in and it's like a whole ass universe inside of this tent. I mean, not to that extent, but like, and that also brings up a question of like, why wouldn't everyone do that with their house? Why wouldn't you just have like a small, like, I get it, they like there will always be people who want to have a mansion, show it off, have a big yard, for vanity reasons. That's fine, but there's no reason that I would say 60% of the wizarding community wouldn't just buy like a moderately small shack house and just like magic the inside to be a whole castle
mansion
on the inside.
You
get a whole mansion.
I mean, it's just crazy because like how the Weasleys were poor and they lived in that tall ass house,
right?
And it was kind of cramped quarters, I guess.
Yeah, like the implication is that it's held up with magic, that they just kind of kept stacking stuff on top of each other and magically kept it in place. But like, yes, that does bring up a good question of like, why do you need to do that if you can just magically, maybe like for, no? I was gonna say
plot
like,
holes.
For, like,
there's plot holes, man.
Maybe for like different stories, like you can't have your house be like 3 stories if it's actually 1 story. But also, why can't you afford a nice house? Like, why couldn't you just magic the wood
money
there?
Yeah, or like mill lumber out of nothing.
Yeah, like why couldn't you just magic?
I'm telling you, man,
all the
plot
ingredients
holes.
and then
plot holes, dude. It doesn't make sense to me.
This is like we're bordering on like you've seen the like AI push that's been really hard happening lately.
Yeah.
Like the whole internet's like, hey, AI just kind of showed up overnight where you did the picture thing where you like AI pictures. They have like one that you can like ask it stuff and it'll just answer it like hey, can you write me a code for this website, and it just does it. Somebody said they like asked it to write an episode of Seinfeld, and it wrote like a perfect, hilarious episode. Somebody asked for like a short story about a frog falling in love with a thing, and like made it, and it was good, and it had good stuff. And so it's like, man, once AI is like firmly planted, all knowledge-based jobs gone. Like, oh, you need me to input this thing because this and this and this. Oh, the AI can do it, and it can do 30, 50, 100 people's jobs at the same time.
Yeah.
Won't that be interesting?
Yeah, that's the fear. That's the fear. Yeah. Why they're like, why are we pushing AI so fast? Because it's going to put a lot of people out of work. And it's the same thing with delivery, and like robots taking over, like self-driving vehicles, like truck drivers won't be needed anymore because trucks will be able to drive themselves,
right? Because
and all that's
less dangerous.
Like
because then they don't have to.
You'll still need someone like behind the wheel to pilot, but they're not gonna like be like steering. They're just like making sure the truck's doing what it needs to do, and someone to offload the crap.
Yeah, and also like we always say that. I think that is something people throw in to make themselves feel better. It's like, oh, there always need to be a person watching it.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
For now.
For
Eventually,
now, yeah.
this thing's going to be smart enough.
Remember iRobot?
Uh-huh. So we're getting dangerously close into political conversation, which we promised we wouldn't do on this nerdy podcast.
Right, yeah.
But yeah, it just reminded me of that, where it was like, the wizarding community. It's like, why do you have a job? Like I've asked myself a bunch, what would I do as a career in the wizarding world? And I have no idea. I think I would be like some kind of like magical performer, like actor performer, but like I don't know, man. There's not a lot of career opportunities in the wizarding world.
And we're kind of leaving Star Wars in the back burner here, but honestly, I love Star Wars too a lot. If anything, with Harry Potter having plot holes, I wouldn't mind being in the Star Wars universe too, because I wouldn't mind traveling to different planets, seeing different creatures and different cultures and stuff like that. And not only
there's not a lot of universes where you can like not even it's not even consequential that they just blew up whole ass planets. They're just like
I mean
like Harry Potter.
I mean the Emperor was a douche. The Emperor was a douche, man.
Yeah, no, for sure. But that said, like in Harry Potter, the biggest bad guy was like trying to take over England. It's
I don't think so. I think he was trying to take over the whole world, wasn't he? He was trying to take over the whole world.
Even if he did, he wanted to take over the world, not just wipe out. Like that's not even genocide. That's like genocide on steroids.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree with you.
Don't know if
I don't know. I would love to hop in a fucking spaceship. I would love to hop in a spaceship, go chill with my man Chewbacca, and like just be kicking it.
That's fair. So here's the thing: Star Wars is in my blind spot. I've seen 1 through 6 and 7 of the new ones. I haven't watched 8 or 9, and I've been told it's not worth it.
Well, and I think even Disney has come out and stated that they kind of messed up.
Yeah,
they kind of messed up with the sequels, and I think they're in talks. Maybe I don't know if they're really in talks of redoing it, but they kind of there was stuff they could have done to like make it flow better.
Like I would like them to redo it. That's how I feel about Game of Thrones. Redo the last season, please. Redo it in a way that cares.
What's funny is that like I watched House of Dragon, and then I just rewatched Game of Thrones. It kind of I love doing that sometimes, where like I'll watch a new series and like, all right, how's it tie into the old one? Like there's stuff I probably missed that didn't understand. Now that I have a prequel that they talk about these things so I went and watched Game of Thrones again, and I forgot how like the last season was so like ugh.
Yeah,
like it's
crazy
pissed me off
because of how absolutely phenomenal the first few seasons are, and I don't know who or when or why. I mean, I know the directors were leaving to go do the Star Wars franchise that they messed up,
right.
But yeah, I don't know who was like, hey, let's shorten the final season. We've given really incredible depth and development to all of these things. Let's shorten the final season to be 6 episodes instead of 9, I think is what it normally is.
Yeah.
Let's shorten it. Let's not make the episodes longer. Let's rush through I mean, it felt like they were like, hey, we're on a time crunch here. We got to go.
Yeah.
And it's like you can't take a franchise that like you had this beautiful, amazing, brand new franchise. I mean, how many people can say pre the final, let's say 2 seasons of the show? How many people can say they stepped up and were on the same tier as Harry Potter, Star Wars, Lord of the Rings? I mean, Game of Thrones was the new kid to the epic franchise, and then it just nosedived into the ground. No, and that's why, go ahead.
No, go ahead. What you were saying?
I was going to say that's why, like, I can't go back and rewatch it because for me, once I know the ending or know where things are heading, I just can't enjoy it for what it is anymore because it's like, oh, Tyrion Lannister, what an epic character who this, and like I guess has turned out fine, but same Jon Snow, what an epic franchise, only for him to kind of just mosey off.
That's what made me so mad is that like, again, grain of salt, folks. I should read the books. I'm just going off show. I know that's not like a nerdy thing to do. I haven't read the books. Maybe I should read the books. And I think that the author said that like it's somewhat close to what he wrote into the show, but I don't know. The ending pissed me off though, because like, okay,
so that's what he said. He worked with the directors to help kind of shape and guide where the show would go, because the show came off of the books a little bit here and there. Here's the thing: I haven't read the books, and I won't read the books until they're done, because this is what I said. Hey, when I started watching the show, I was like, I will binge through these books as soon as they're done, but I don't want to sit here and be waiting years and years and years and years for something that may never come. Hey, Patrick Rothfuss. What is it? Patrick Rothfuss? The guy who wrote Name of the Wind. It's been like 11 years, and he hasn't written the third book, and it's killing all of us because it's an amazing series. Sorry to off track, but
no.
Incomplete series. They're the worst.
Yeah, and like it made me mad because like John became one of my favorite characters, blah blah, and then they kind of like snowballed him at the end. Like
It felt incomplete.
Yeah, like he could be king, but he didn't, and then like he got the short end of the stick of it out of all this stuff. Like I don't know. I'm not gonna dive deep into Game of Thrones right now because that's a whole nother episode. I could go in a rabbit hole down.
We'll dive deep into that. What I will say is there were too many loose ends. There was too many. The Third Eye Raven thing. What? Mm-hmm. So that he could be. Oh, you got infinite knowledge, so that you could be a just and fair ruler. And it's like,
right.
But also, he didn't have infinite knowledge because he was like, I know everything. And then Sam was like, actually, I'm pretty sure Jon Snow's not a bastard. And he was like, wait, hold on. Yes, that's true. And I'm like, don't you know it? Isn't the whole point that you could just access this information willy-nilly? Anyway, you're right. Let's not get into this. We'll do it on another episode.
Yeah. So, like, talking about Star Wars, the new, did you play the first game that came out?
I've never played any of the Star Wars games.
Oh, man.
I know.
Well, the new one's coming out. The new one's coming out. Cal Kestis is the main character, and the first game is so good. The dynamic of how the animation, but overall fight battle style is great, and I'm excited for the new game to come out. So like talking about the games, we can always go into like what's your favorite video game console of all time? You know,
favorite video game console of all time. Okay. We'll do this, but I need to put a disclaimer, a little asterisk at the top. This is these are my personal favorite console. This is not which console is better. This is not.
You're not okay. That's a good.
I
that's a good disclaimer.
Coming at me if I
that's a good
Nintendo
disclaimer.
DS or something.
Right. They're like, what? Like, what are you talking about?
God knows if I pick Xbox or PlayStation, anything, the other side is gonna.
Yeah, let me make this disclaimer about this.
Bro.
I'm going to disclaimer about this. It doesn't matter. Xbox or PlayStation. I have both, and they're both great in their own ways.
Right.
So
here's
we'll leave that right there.
For those who pick Team Xbox versus Team PlayStation, they want you to do that. They want you. Look at me. They want you to pick teams because then you're less likely to spend money on their competitive. Do whatever makes you happy and enjoy yourself.
Yeah. That's the whole point. Is to enjoy yourself.
Go be a nerd in all aspects.
Like PlayStation, Uncharted series, awesome. Love it. Love PlayStation for having God of War. Yeah. Xbox, Halo came out. Love it. Halo. Gears of War.
They now own Bethesda, so they own Fallout and Elder Scrolls.
So it play whatever you enjoy playing.
Right. Enjoy.
Now, let's go into your controversial idea.
Controversial idea. I haven't even settled. There are like 3 that are like fighting for the top personal spots.
Okay.
I'll go through the 3 of them. I know that's a cop out, and then maybe by the time I'm done, I will have picked a favorite. First thing that comes to mind, PlayStation 2. That system was
PlayStation 2 is yeah. It's deep in my heart.
Beast. I used to, games aside, I just want to talk about my poor technology etiquette. I used to keep my PlayStation in like on my my like nightstand. I would keep it in a drawer so that I did because I just didn't have room for it with my big old.
You kept it in a drawer?
Yeah, I kept it in a drawer.
Did
so
you
like
close
the
the
top
drawer?
where I kept my socks? It was like socks on one side and PlayStation 2 on the other side. It fit perfectly. Like
Did you have the slim or the fat? The slim or the fat?
Boy.
Okay. The good one.
And I would have to like slide it slightly if I wanted to open the disk drive because it was facing the the side. it fit lengthwise in there. So
that's hilarious.
I would pop it open. I left that mofo on weeks at a time.
Holy shit!
Because I didn't. There was at one point I lost a memory card that I had, and I was trying desperately to find it, but I couldn't save my game without a new memory card or without the old memory card. So instead, I was like, I'll just leave it on until I can find it. And I have ADD, and I have out of sight, out of mind. So I would close that sucker up.
Did you ever go to school? Like you're getting ready for school in the morning, like I need socks, and then you're like, ooh, my socks are very warm. I wonder why.
I didn't think about that. Probably. I never was like, oh, it's warm, but it hums. It was like I would be like, and I would just close.
You wake up in the middle of the night. You're like, Mom, there's a monster in my sock drawer.
Mom, Kingdom Hearts is yelling at me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would keep it on for literally weeks. I think the longest I ever left it on for. I don't even have a definitive date on this because I came downstairs after months of not playing it because I had gotten an Xbox 360 at that point and I moved it into the living room. So I wasn't playing as many PS2 games, and I just came in at one point and I had stopped using that dresser for the most part. It was like I forget why. Maybe I had even moved it. But anyway, I opened up the drawer and I realized that it was on.
What?
Because it was quiet. It was very quiet. It wasn't humming. So
yeah, you know why? Because you took all the socks out. I could breathe.
Yeah, probably. So I opened it up and it's on, and I was like, "Oh shit! How long has that been on for?" And so I assume at a minimum of a couple months because I think I had switched bedrooms in my house, and so I didn't go in there anymore. Except for like I could like hang out and play games in there because we weren't really using it for anything. I for a while I slept in like the basement room because I was like too cool to be upstairs, and then I went. I
had a basement room also. And I
shout out to the basement
love
kids.
It. Yeah, it was great.
But then when I switched out of there, I was like, oh, I'll just leave this in here, and I'll just like come play PS2 games in here when I feel like it, and then I didn't for months at a time. And that thing is trucking. I think it's still on somewhere.
Your mom's like, why is the BG&E bill always this high? I don't understand.
She's like, she's gonna text me, can I turn this off? And I'm gonna be like, no, I don't have my memory card in there.
You're like, yeah. Did you save the game? Can you save the game real quick? Yeah, PS2 was my one of my all-time favorites, and the fat one was a workhorse.
Yeah,
it was really hard to kill it. It was really hard to kill it.
Yeah, as I tried, apparently.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you definitely did. You definitely did try. So okay, PS2. So what was your next
PS2.
one?
Although I will say, one of the faults of the PS2, the discs, they scratched so easily. Yeah, I used to, and my dumbass, it would like scratch, and I would like put it on the carpet and like wipe it. So that,
you're making it worse.
Get all the crap off of it. Just you're like micro scratches all over.
Yeah, you're like, what the hell, man? It looks worse. Yeah, it looks worse. Like, what's wrong with this thing? These discs suck. Dude.
Suck. So that is a good transition into one of my others, which is the Nintendo 64. This was like the gaming system before I got into like heavy gaming. This was friends would come over, you'd play Mario Kart, you'd play Mario Kart, Mario Party. By yourself, you'd play Mario 64, GoldenEye. You'd play with friends.
Yep.
That was for me. That was right around, I want to say like 4th to 6th grade, like the golden eras. You had no responsibilities.
My friends,
go ahead.
Good. My friends loved to play GoldenEye. I sucked at it so bad. I sucked at GoldenEye so bad.
Have you ever? It's on the Switch now, I think. I've tried to go back and play it with the N64. It's a nightmare using one controller stick as opposed to like having the dual sticks.
Duals, yeah.
Oh my god, you would drag your view and then like your friend would appear on the right, and you'd be like, "Hang on."
Did you see this video of his dad? Right, he's like, his son was talking trash about video games. I guess he's like, "Yeah, Dad, I can whoop your ass at video games." So his dad hooks up an old 64 to look at TV. He puts GoldenEye in it, and like as soon as he hears "dan-dan, he's like, "Oh hell yeah!" He's like, "I'm about to whoop your ass, boy." He's like, "Let's go."
Son, you are about to learn a very valuable lesson.
His son's like holding his hand to his head. He's like, I was like, what is this? He's like, what is happening right now? So, yeah.
Yeah, so N64, it holds a very special place in my heart. Me and my friends used to, this was, again, 4th to 6th grade, you know, living the American dream, man. We had $10-15 in our pocket from chores and stuff like that. We
Sure.
would ride our bikes the 3 miles up through woods and neighbors' yards to go up to Blockbuster.
You know what's crazy as a kid? As a kid, you would ride your bikes or walk 3 miles like it was nothing.
Like,
Dude, if I try to walk I walk 3 miles,
I would have a
I'm
heart
like,
attack.
fuck this shit.
And I'm not even in
Fuck
that bad of
this.
shape, but I would die.
I know. Yeah. Yeah.
Or
I'm
very
like, wow.
least, like, I would get, like, Lyme disease from going through the woods.
That kind of luck, you know?
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm. I'd be like, oh, this only happens to old people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
No, we're good. So we would go up, we would rent, we would decide, we would pool our money, we would rent 1 to 2 N64 games, and then buy as much sugar as we could possibly carry with our 10
Absolutely.
remaining dollars.
You got
And
it.
then we'd ride our bikes back, and we would just and eat. And so
You need fuel.
I mean, we
You
played
need fuel.
Tony Hawk.
Oh,
1,
yeah.
Tony Hawk
Yep.
2 were like the like I'll meet you on the battlefield games where it's like, oh, we want to throw down.
Yeah,
let's
yeah.
See who can get skate first.
Yeah, yeah. Dude, I used to love Tony Hawk Pro Skate, man. I had that crap on I had that on PS2. I had it on PS2.
Yeah.
And
I have the
my cousins were so much better than me. They were way better than me, but I used to just grind all the time.
Yeah, you just got to get really good at there's definitely different approaches to your Tony Hawk win strategy, which is like, do I
Yeah.
go in the bowl or the half pipe and just
Yeah.
crank out move after move
Yeah.
after move, or are you that like, I feel like the grinder is like the rogue of the Tony
Yeah.
Hawk universe. It's like, it's hard to get into, but when you do it right, you will.
Yeah.
Because I used to do that where I would do like grind, jump, kickflip, or whatever move, land back, keep grinding, and you just keep doing that where you're like, and
Yeah.
it multiplies it. So you'd be like grind, kickflip, and then once they introduced manuals, I would like jump off of it into a manual, and then like
Yeah.
do another move, and all of a sudden it's like, if you can hit it, which is not easy, but if you hit it, you get like 100,000 points, and everyone's like,
Yeah.
"This is horseshit. How did you do that?" And you're like, "Oh man, you got to get good at grinding."
I remember when when Spider-Man was just hitting the box office, and you were able to play Spider-Man, and
They had
I
some
think
really
it was
cool, like,
I think it was Tony Hawk 2,
cameos.
Pro Skater 2. I
They
think it
started
was.
putting in like I don't know if it was Green Goblin, but they definitely added some like weird people that you could. It was like, it was DLC before it was DLC. You just had
Yeah.
to unlock it in the game.
Yeah. Okay, so PS2, 64. What's the third one?
PS2, 64. I'm deciding whether I want to give a shout out to like the Game Boy, because I love Game Boy, but it's but in my memory it's also mostly just a Pokemon device.
Yeah.
Like there were other good.
I
Game
played
Boy
Mario.
games.
I played Mario. Okay, I love Game Boy. It is a honorable mention for me. But I
Sure.
played Pokemon, Mario, and Pokemon.
Yeah, and like off Pokemon games like
Or
Mr. Metroid
okay,
and
maybe Metroid when Game Boy Advance came out.
stuff. See, I never did Metroid.
Really?
I know. I can hear audience members going, "Oh." There's
Like
gonna be a lot
Metroid
of that.
Fusion? You never
As we
played
get through
Metroid
our
Fusion?
nerdy stuff, we both have big blind spots because we're just two normal dudes. Don't
Yeah.
hold me. I am not a nerd god.
That's the thing. That's the thing, guys. We're normal dudes.
We're just normal guys who
Yeah.
happen to really like a bunch of nerdy shit. But like,
Yeah. In our 30s,
I'm just gonna put it out there.
still
I'm gonna
nerding
put
out.
it out there. Godfather. I've never seen them.
Yeah, I'm disappointed in you for not saying that to me.
Yeah, I get that a lot. I'm used to it. Your words cannot hurt me, for I wear it as armor.
It's okay. I forgive you.
Thank you. I'm
All right,
happy
so-
to fix it. Happy to fix
Yeah.
it. Nobody
Hey,
ever
we'll
takes
watch
me
it.
up on it.
Well, we'll watch it.
All
We'll
right.
watch it together.
Love a watch party.
Yeah. Okay, so Game Boy's an honorable mention. So what are you thinking?
I think the last of the ones I'm going to give credit to, PS4, PS5, Xbox Series X, all those. They're great. They're wonderful. Xbox 360 gets an honorable mention.
Okay.
Actually, not even honorable mention. It is one of the three. I think those are my three. Because Xbox 360 was like my evolution out of like PS2 games were great, but Xbox kind of took it to the next level. I started playing online more often.
Sure.
I had a big like Call of Duty phase.
Yep.
Stuff like that. Halo was I think Halo is the superior shooter to like Call of Duty or Battlefield or anything like that. I could never get into Battlefield.
People would disagree. People would disagree.
I know. This is not going to be a great first episode because people are going to be like, "Fuck these guys."
Yeah, guys,
like
look, we're working on this.
Don't worry.
Okay, so PlayStation 64 and
N64,
Xbox.
PlayStation 2, Xbox 360.
360. Okay. You know, three's a good. That three. Hey, I can. You don't have to have the best. Three's a good tier. I'm gonna shotgun this. I'll tell you my three. Okay. Super Nintendo.
Ooh, okay.
Dreamcast.
Wait. Super Nintendo or the OG Nintendo?
No, Super Nintendo.
Okay, so the S,
not the OG,
NES, not the NES.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. That's
Super Nintendo.
I don't think I had that system.
Really? I
played, like, Mario
I had the.
World 2.
Let's see. My mom got it for me. It was like the slim, like when the slim version started coming out of systems.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like the old school one where it was like a big square. It was literally a smaller, compact version. I used to play Super Nintendo all the time. Super Mario World, Super Mario RPG, Donkey Kong Country, Country 2, all the Metroid. I loved it, or it was Super Metroid, and it got me into Street Fighter really good. Like, I used to play Street Fighter like crazy. Street Fighter 2 Turbo, by the way. So, yeah, I used to love that game. So, Super Nintendo was my first. Dreamcast was my second. I don't think many people would say Dreamcast is their favorite.
I was thinking to myself, I never played the Super Nintendo, and I never played Dreamcast. I had friends who played the Dreamcast. I never got into it. So, like, I have this again, I have a big gap in my nerdy knowledge because I don't know. I was like, what was I doing during these times? Was I just playing Game Boy the whole time? I don't remember.
You remember when Tamagotchis was like a big thing?
Absolutely. I got yelled at.
So
our whole class had them banned because we had to leave our backpacks outside of the classroom, and we kept making excuses. Like, the teacher was like, "Why do all of you have to pee 15 times a class?" we were going out and feeding our Tamagotchis.
Yeah. So what came out with what was cool about the Dreamcast, right, is that the Sonic Adventure game came out, like the 3D version, and it was like the revolutionary type thing, you know, because you had Super Mario 64, which was like 3D Mario, but Sonic never had that. So when that game came out, it was great. And then he turned like Super Saiyan at the end of the game, which was awesome. Yeah. But what was cool,
Sonic Adventure 2 Battle will go down as probably one of my top 10 games of all time.
Okay.
Personally.
So what was cool about Sonic 2, like with the Dreamcast, the memory cards, right? They had a screen on them. You slipped it in the controller. Yeah. Literally, you could download a little tiny character from Sonic. Yeah. Onto the memory card, and you could feed it, take care of it, level it up, and stuff like that on your little memory card. It doubled as a little Tamagotchi.
I never knew that. I never knew that. And the little Chow Gardens is why Sonic Adventure 2 Battle will go down as one of my top 10 favorite games of all time. I love the game. The game itself was great. I think it was awesome. You get Shadow for the first time, who I love Shadow, as I think I mentioned earlier.
Yep.
But those little Chow babies, raising them up and having them do karate and everything, I would play. Listen to me, Nintendo. I think you have the rights to me. Look at me closer. I would pay any amount of money for just a Chow game. Please, just raising little Chow babies. I would give you so much money.
Yeah, so me getting to play that game, and actually now that I think about it, I played Tony Hawk on that game, on that system, was the Dreamcast. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think
that's what we really got.
Fun fact, I have it on PS4, so the next time you come hang out with me, we can throw down.
I'll be so bad, but it's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, yeah.
So okay, fine. We can suck together. We can suck together.
We'll just suck at it at the same time and see who sucks
Sweet.
less.
Yeah, let's do it. Another game on Dreamcast that gets a high honorable mention. I think a lot of people will love this. Soul Calibur. Did you ever play Soul Calibur?
I do not play fighting games. With the exception of Super Smash Bros. I don't play fighting games. I'm very bad at them.
Dude, the mechanics. So a lot of people I couldn't really get into Tekken. I know people are gonna hate me for that because the fluidity of the fighting style, I could not get it down right. But Soul Calibur made it so fun because the characters move so easy. My favorite character was Killick. He had a little pole, like a staff, and he would just crank people out with that thing. So yeah, Super Nintendo, Dreamcast, and my third favorite console would have to be PS2.
Yeah, PS2 was a workhorse, man.
Yeah,
PS2 just if you didn't
it was a big part of my childhood.
It was a big part of it. As somebody who worked at GameStop for 4 years, give or take, PS2 had easily the largest library of any gaming system. When they announced the PS3, people were they had to announce that it was backwards compatible at first, and then they eventually shifted away from that because the library for PS2 was so
vast,
incredibly large that starting over felt like going from.
I remember having my own bookshelf. I remember having my own bookshelf of fucking games.
I still have my own bookshelf.
Games. But I mean, the first Need for Speed came out. Need for Speed, God of War,
games of all time were on
Ratchet and Clank. You know, all that stuff, man.
Jack and Daxter. I think Crash Bandicoot was on a different system. Honorable mention, by the way, to GameCube.
No, Crash
GameCube
Bandicoot was
doesn't get
Sony.
enough credit for
Crash Bandicoot was Sony.
Was Sony? Okay, yeah.
It was Sony. Yep.
Also honorable mention to GameCube. They
yes, GameCube. Yep. I wish I could fit it in there, my top 3, but it just doesn't beat out those others.
I don't even know if it would make my top 5, but I know it made me happy. Super Mario Sunshine is my favorite Mario game.
I love that game. I love that game.
It's one of my
favorites. I love
favorites.
the game a lot.
The Mario Kart Double Dash was very good. Mario Party on the GameCube was between the N64 and the GameCube was peak Mario Party in my opinion.
I love online gaming. I love it. But there's nothing like the old school days of getting with your buddies. You know, hey, I'm going to take my system with me. We're going to go to my buddy's house. He's going to link me up on a different TV.
The GameCube
and
had a handle so that you could carry it.
Carry it with
it,
yeah.
Brilliant.
And then they had the little adapter to play your Game Boy games. So it became a giant Game Boy.
Yeah. Yeah, and they did cross promote. I remember with the going back to Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, you could plug it into your Game Boy because they had a Sonic game for Game Boy, and if you did that, you could move your Chow Baby into the Game Boy, and you could play the Game Boy, and it sounds similar to what happened with your memory card, where you could plug it into your Game Boy, play the Game Boy game, and then bring it back to your console and load it back out. They don't do cool stuff like that anymore. Now my Switch just comes with me wherever I go.
Yeah,
which is really great. Don't get me wrong, but there's not any cool Easter eggy things like that anymore.
Yeah, the Switch is great because it's a giant Game Boy. You could take it on the go, or you could throw it on the TV.
Stupidly good. The Switch is a stupidly good system that I'm so it's wasted on me. It's not wasted. I play it all the time. Wasted, I love my Switch. I play it all the time. It would just. I don't know if it would make my top list, and it really should because it's innovative as crap. It's amazing. It's got some of the best games I've ever played on it. The new Pokemon, yes, it is great. Legend of Zelda, Mario Party, Mario Kart, Animal Crossing. It is a legendary system that I just don't even consider.
Yeah, if I could just give the honorable mention to all the new systems coming out, they're great, they're innovative, especially playing in 4K. It's almost like you're there. It's crazy. It's just I just remember.
It just
the old
doesn't
days.
pull on the nostalgia.
You know, the problem is with us as humans, we want instant gratification type stuff. So old school days, you could throw the disc in. There was no downloads. There was no waiting for updates. You just pop that shit in there and it loaded up. Now you got a freaking 100 gig game downloading your system. It's like, all right, it's gonna take a week, so you might want to just go do whatever you want. Like,
do
you can't
you ever
play.
stop to think about the technology we have just easily available? My Xbox has a terabyte hard drive. If you took that console back to 1995, 2000 even, and said, this box has a terabyte worth of data in it, people would explode. Their heads would
the PS2 memory cards, one of the standard ones was 8 megabytes.
Yeah.
8 megabytes.
Yeah, I could literally download an 8 megabyte picture on my phone.
Yeah.
By the time I finish the sentence, like,
yeah,
my phone's like 8 megabytes. Okay. Do you remember that old picture of who's the guy who owns Microsoft? Bill.
Oh,
his name.
Oh my.
Yeah,
Bill
it's
Gates.
hard
Bill Gates.
Bill Gates. It's a picture of Bill Gates, and he's like really high in the sky, and it's just like a huge stack of paper, and it was like, all of this paper can fit on one floppy disk, and I'm like, all of those floppy disks can fit it. I'll find you the picture at some point, but yeah, it's really funny, and it goes to show you how far we've come. That they're like, this floppy disk can hold up to 5 megabytes, and I'm like,
dude,
wow.
I mean, just thinking like how fast technology's come. Like, there used to be rooms of a supercomputer. Like, a room had to be a computer, where now you carry a supercomputer in your pocket.
All the time. Yeah. And then old people get mad and they're like, why don't you focus? And I'm like, because I have the entire collective human knowledge in my pocket, and you're talking about your corn cob recipe, and I don't care. I'm sorry, I want to watch people talk about stuff I care about on my phone.
Yeah. It's just nuts, man. I think that just the next step is coming to like a Ready Player One type of deal. Where you just become immersed into
that we like how far we genuinely think like have you ever watched Sword Art Online?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like we're like, how far is it before we get into a deep dive Ready Player One where you just upload your consciousness into a game?
I get it, especially with Elon Musk and Neuralink coming out. I give it maybe like a decade.
Yeah,
maybe
I would
15
say,
years.
I would say by 2030, we will have games where you can just, whether it's Ready Player One style, where you put it on and it's just fully immersive, or whether you just Neuralink in and you can like feel and touch and see and smell.
Yeah. Now, that being said, I know we're about like an hour and 2 minutes, but like that being said, would you do it? Would you give up?
100%.
You really? Okay. Really?
I mean,
no thought of it.
Wait. Before I go sign in the paperwork here, let me read the fine print. Is it like a one trip, or can I come in and out?
No, you can come in and out.
No question. I wouldn't do Elon Musk's version, but I would definitely do a deep dive game.
Okay. You wouldn't worry about someone being like, all right, like how they did Ready Player One, like you're trapped in the game. Your consciousness is trapped in the game.
Well, you're not trapped in Ready Player One. You're trapped in.
No, I'm sorry. I mean, Sword Art.
It's too late. You already lost your nerd cred. Give me a card. You failed that nerd check. Roll me a nerd check.
It was a bluff. It was a bluff. My bad.
It was a bluff. Yeah. No, I would totally do it.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I would hope that I wouldn't get trapped in the game. I would maybe skip launch day, but yeah, I would absolutely.
Yeah. I want to check the servers, make sure the servers are all good.
Make sure that they can handle this. I'm not trying to get glitched into a game. But no, yeah, I would absolutely do it.
I guess me personally, I'd probably be the one holding out a little bit. Like let Gen 2, let the Gen 2 version come out first. Let's get the kinks out of this first.
Yeah, well, have fun, but I will skip launch day. That's pretty much as far as my waiting goes. Yeah.
So you're going to be standing in line getting a chip ready in your brain.
I mean, I don't know if the chip would actually go in my brain, but maybe. I don't know. I think more likely it would be like suction cups and stuff like that.
Okay.
But who knows?
If they were,
if they were,
yeah. My doctor is actually back here. But no, I'm just kidding. If they could do it like a Sword Art where they still had the visor, but it like uploaded your consciousness.
Yeah.
And then you could like take it off to take you out of the game quickly.
Right.
Then
or
I would say,
microwave your brain
yeah,
into exploding like it did in the game.
yeah.
Show.
I would maybe consider it more. I just don't like anything being implanted inside me.
Yeah, if it was a Neuralink situation where I had to like have a chip put in my brain, I would wait. But if it was like a visor situation or like a plug situation where you just kind of like
like a more advanced Oculus type thing, like more like a more advanced Oculus, then yeah, I'd probably do it right now. Yeah. I'm like, let's go.
Yeah. If
that's
it was
like
you need to put a chip in your head, then I would be like, I'm gonna give this a couple iterations. See how it goes.
Yeah, like have you seen those those vests where like people are playing shooter games and it's supposed to like send vibrations?
And it like vibrates.
Yeah, I don't know even how I feel about that sometimes. I'm like, okay, the whole point of Call of Duty is that I don't feel what it's like to get shot. You know, I don't want to feel that.
I don't want to feel but I think as long as it was a fleeting neuro input thing where it's like, yeah, I'm not actually shot, then I think I'd be
sure.
Okay.
Okay, sure. Let's go do this.
Let's
Let's go do this,
shot.
and I'm gonna let me shoot you. Let's see how you feel after
You're gonna
that.
just put me in you're gonna be like, all right, this is the vest you wear, and then you're just gonna take out a paintball gun and shoot me in the chest and be like, how does it feel, bro? Still like that? Just Neuralink.
Yeah, you're like, are you sure? It seems very real. Like, yeah, man.
I think I feel the paint on me, and you're like, nah, it's just it's all part of the neuro transmitter.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Well, I mean, I think we could end it here. Yeah. Would I do it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'd do it.
All right.
Yeah, I had to consider
chip involved.
Oh no. No.
Here's the main reason why I wouldn't do that. They upgrade the Apple every year.
Yeah.
They put out a new we're on it's like the now voice iPhone level 5. Like if you go to put a chip in my head, how quickly am I gonna need to upgrade that chip?
Yeah. Yeah. Plus he's like, all right, so we're just gonna drill a little hole in your brain. I'm like, no, man, nothing gets drilled in. This is solid for a reason. It stays this way. Yeah. Nothing needs to go on there.
It's meant to go in here.
Yeah. We're not meant to have holes in there. So no thanks. Yeah, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that at all. People can be the guinea pigs and do it all day, but I'm not doing that.
Yeah, I'll see how it goes. Well, like you said, I think we've come to the end of this week's podcast. So thank you guys for listening. Hopefully you'll tune in
thank
more.
you guys.
We're going to do a bunch of this is what we do. We come up with ideas for the show, and then it spirals into other ideas. And you get to be along for an ADHD journey.
Yeah, I mean, this is what's the great thing about doing a podcast, especially with your friend. You know, we go down rabbit holes. We have topics to talk about, but then we end up going on rabbit holes about something else. And if any of these topics interest you, feel free to let us know.
Yeah, and if there's anything you want us to talk about, please let us know.
Yeah. Follow us at Roll for Nerdy Check on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Yeah, and we'll be eventually uploading these podcasts up on YouTube as well.
Yep. And we'll debate TikTok.
Yeah, we'll debate TikTok right now.
Moral problems with TikTok.
I
use it all the time. Yeah. It's just a lot of effort.
Yeah, we're working on that. We're working on the kinks of everything. But if Zach, you have anything else to say?
No, we'll see you guys,
all right, guys.
Next time.
Yep, see you next time, and let the nerd out.
Yeah, let that nerd out.
See you guys.
Bye.